recording. So what I'd like to talk about first is some different strategies and ways that we're building the business. And there's two key systems that we're utilizing. And I want to just draw out, first of all, what the marketing funnel looks like. So first of all, you've probably, that's not going to show up very well. It's about that time again, Tiffany. New markers. So this is what our marketing funnel looks like, right? Any funnel that you've ever seen before starts off with some type of an initial exposure. So how do we typically expose somebody to the business? So that's usually done a couple of different ways. The first way that it's done is in person, right? So one of the easiest ways to engage someone in a conversation in person is just to ask questions, learning how to ask the right questions. I always say that questions are the answers. And right now, it's actually a perfect time of the year to ask questions. You know, things like, let me ask you, have you accomplished your goals professionally this year? Do you feel like you were paid what you were worth this year, right? People are reflecting, they're thinking about the new year. And so just starting, another question, did you accomplish, hey, Tiffany, let me ask you this question. I want to know the answer. So did you accomplish your goals that you had for your health in 2018? Your fitness and health for 2018? Not even close. How many people do you think answer that yes to that question? Probably a small percentage, right? I know I didn't reach my goals. Christy, did you reach your goals this year? No. Fitness goals? So just by asking that question, so then I might come back and just say, well, what were some of those goals? And you don't have to answer, but most people might say, well, it was weight loss, or I really wanted to get in, feel better, more energy, whatever the case might be. But when you ask questions, what it does is it positions you to now be to be able to help, rather than trying to pitch them on something. So what you might say is, well, listen, maybe I can help. You see, I've recently started this new company that I'm super excited about in the DNA nutrition space. If I sent you a 3-minute video, would you be willing to just take a look at it and let me know what you think? Right? So instead of coming from a place of trying to sell and pitch someone, I've now made it about them just by asking the right questions. So again, did you accomplish your goals, your fitness and health goals in 2018? Well, no. Okay, well, what were you hoping to accomplish this year? Well, you know what? I really wanted to drop a little bit of weight, and I wanted to maybe get toned up this year, but man, life was just so busy. Well, cool. Well, listen, maybe I can help. I just started this new company. I'm super excited about it. It's the DNA nutrition space. And I got to tell you, it's a product that you just have to see. If I sent you a 3-minute video, would you watch it, right? So in person, that's what that might sound like. Another question that I love to ask, and you have to ask the right person depending on the relationship, but I love to ask, hey, Christy, are you making more money than you can spend right now?
I would think that would have to be everybody's response.
I mean, 100% of the time, Tiffany's been on presentations with me doing this for years, or over a year, and she's probably heard me say that 50 times. Tiffany, have you heard that same response every single time?
Every single time. People
right? So are you making more money than you can spend? Ha, ha, ha. No, but I wish I was, right? Well, listen, are you open to making more money, Christy?
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, listen, I recently just started this business that I'm super excited about, and I believe that I have found a way to be able to add an additional revenue stream for myself and my family in 2019. If I sent you a short video, would you be willing to take a look at it and let me know what you think?
Absolutely.
See how I'm making it more about you than me coming at you with some type of a pitch that I'm trying to close you on something, right? So I'm focusing on your goals. So, again, in person for me, it's just simple questions. The more questions that you ask, how are things going? How's life? How's the family? Hey, listen, how's work going? Were you paid what you were worth in 2018? No. Very few people answer that question with a yes, right? So when you ask those questions, it allows you to be able to then invite somebody. So from there, what we would do is we would just send them to either, in the first exposure for the product, is our 3-minute video. We have a 3-minute just teaser video, talks about blind nutrition versus DNA nutrition, that just opens the door to the conversation, okay? On the business side, if I've already committed somebody, if they've said, yeah, I'm open to making more money, I'm just gonna send them the presentation. Hey, listen, Tiffany, if I sent you, a short overview that explains a little bit more about what I'm working on right now, and some ways that I think that you and I can really make some money together in 2019, would you watch that presentation and let me know what you think? Right? So then from there, what I do is I would send you a business overview. So it really just depends on whether you're approaching them with health or whether you're approaching them with money, right? With opportunity. And so from there, what we would do is we would just move them to the next exposure. So as a network marketing professional, we really have a couple of key responsibilities. The first responsibility is to just, and I'll write these over here, notify people of what we're up to. Hey, listen, I just launched this new business that I'm super excited about. Or, hey, listen, you know what, I'm taking my health seriously in 2019, and I've recently gotten started with a new DNA nutrition company. Have you heard of DNA nutrition? That's another, you know what, that's another question that you can ask, right? So instead of pitching, I'm asking questions. So just to notify people of what we're up to. The second thing is just to invite people to take a closer look. Okay, so that's the second main responsibility of a network marketing professional, is just to invite people to take a closer look. And for those that are now curious and they have questions, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in front of the next exposure tool. So in the health case or the 3-minute video, if now they have questions, they watch that 3-minute video and they're like, well, how does it all work? Tell me a little bit more about it. So what I'm going to do is, we call this ATM, okay? Our ATM system is extremely powerful. And all we're doing is we have 2 groups that we've created. One is a DNA testimonials group. It's a product-driven group. And then the other is a business info group. It's called How to Become a Nutritionist. Both of them are on Facebook. And depending on what those questions are, all I'm going to do is the A stands for add. I'm going to add them to one of these groups. The T stands for tag. I'm now going to tag them. And we have under the announcements section on those groups specific videos that are informative, that are great first exposures for your prospect. And so all you're going to do is you're going to tag them on those videos. And the way that I typically would do that is if Tiffany, if I introduced her to this 3-minute video, and then she has questions, and I said, hey, Tiffany, listen, those are great questions. Here's what I'd love to do. I'm going to add you to a private community that we've created on Facebook that's got a lot of great information in there. I'm going to tag you on a couple of videos to review. I'd also invite you just to look around at the information in there, because I think you're going to find that there's a lot of great information that will help you to learn more about the product. And what's really cool is there's also thousands of people now that are in that group that are sharing their testimonials. So you can see kind of the social proof and see the kind of response that people are getting from this product. Does that work for you? So I just add them to the DNA group. If it's a business related person, so let's say that I just say, Tiffany, listen, I've got something that I'm working on that I'm super excited about. Are you open in 2019 to making more money than you did in 2008? You better believe it. Okay, cool. Listen, I'm going to send you just a little 3-minute video that just gives you a little teaser of what I'm working on. And if it's something that you're open to discussing, I'd love to share some more information with you. Does that work for you? Right? So I just send her the 3-minute video as the first exposure. And she comes back and says, okay, well, tell me a little bit more about this business. Cool. Here's what I'm going to do, Tiffany. I'm just going to add you to this business info group that we've created. It's a private community. And I'm going to tag you on a couple of things just to look around at. And then I'd love to circle back around with you in a couple of days and just have a conversation with you a little bit more. Does that work for you? So add tag, and then the M just stands for message. So now after they've looked around in the DNA group and they've looked around in the business info group, and now they've got some more pointed questions. Let's say they want to know, well, I want to know how I get paid, or how does really the business work? You know, so here's what I'd love to do. I'm gonna set up a message group between you, me, and my business partner. He's been doing this a little bit longer than I have, or she's been doing this a little bit longer than I have. And you know what? I'd love to connect all 3 of us. I know that they would love to hear your story. In fact, I told them a little bit about you the other day, and they said they'd love to just say hi and meet you. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to connect us all, and that way you can ask your questions. We can get our questions answered, and if we need to, we can get on a Zoom or a call and just chat a little bit. So we call this ATM, add, tag, and message. And the reason why it's so powerful is because anyone can do it, right? Most people that come into network marketing don't have credibility in this space. They don't have success stories yet in this industry. So it's very, very difficult for them, and they don't know all of the facts, right? They're new in the beginning. So what we teach them to do is just use these third-party tools. And so, backing up a little bit, one way we do it would be in person. The second way that you would do it is just over the phone, right? You can either do this via phone or text. And, when you're inviting somebody to look at an opportunity, I have friends of mine or people that I'm close to that I could text and just say, hey, listen, I've got something that you really need to take a closer look at. If I send you over a 3-minute video, will you watch it? Just let me know what you think. They're going to say, sure, send it over to me. I just want to start the dialogue. I want to start the conversation. And then once they've seen that 3-minute video, I'm going to just notify them what I'm up to. Listen, I'm excited. 2019 has never looked better for me. I'm tired of having one income stream. I'm tired of getting paid less than what I'm worth. And I've decided to add a new revenue stream and position myself in front of perhaps one of the biggest stories in the nutrition space in the last decade. And I'd love for you to join me. So just notify people of what we're up to. We use these groups to educate and inform. And then ultimately from there, the next exposure is usually some type of a 3-way call, which is just bringing in that third-party validation. And that usually is your upline leader, somebody, maybe cross-line that you're working closely with. If you don't have an upline that maybe isn't active, but in your case, you've got one of the best uplines that there is. Tiffany's amazing, and she is a rock star. So you would just schedule a 3-way and say, listen, I want to introduce you to Tiffany McCormick. She's got an amazing story. She works from home. She's a dynamic lady boss. She's built this successful business literally up in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. I'm just teasing you, Tiffany. So she's built this successful business, and she's doing it all just really on social media. And she's just got a great story. I want to introduce you to her. With that, you free this afternoon, we can just chat a little bit, and she can answer any questions you have. And what happens is you just bring in that third-party credibility, that third-party edification. And all Tiffany's going to do is come in and say, sorry, I have a Christmas elf that just decided to join us on this call. But so you got to go away for right now. I'm doing a little call, okay? So then what would happen is, hey, Savannah, can you grab him? It's okay. So what would happen is from there, Tiffany's going to come on and she's going to say, you know what? I've been doing this business now for 60 days. Here's been my experience. You know what? I'm following the system. I'm just adding people to the group and exposing them to the business. And I'm having a tremendous amount of success. Not only have I got my 100% of my initial investment back, but I'm making money here. And I have no reason to believe why 2019 isn't going to be the best year of my life. That's it. And ultimately, in the end, what are we doing? All we're doing is we're collecting decisions. That's it. That's all we're doing is we're collecting decisions. And we're not here to pitch people. We're not here to convince people. We're not here to beg people. In fact, with this product, I have found that you don't have to oversell it. You don't have to overhype it, because people are genuinely interested in what we have to offer in this conversation. So that would be over the phone and via text message, just calling somebody up. Hey, listen, how's your 2018 going? Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like you were paid more than what you were worth? And there's a lot of different approaches. One size doesn't fit all. And that's where books like GoPro or Eric's, 8 steps to contacting and inviting come in. You have to look at your prospect, how you know them, your relationship with them, and decide the best approach. But the system never changes. And then finally, the third way is Facebook Messenger. And I love Facebook Messenger. I've built 80% of my business here at Uforia through Facebook Messenger. And I'll give you a little tip on how I do this. So I like Facebook messages, like voice messages. Why? Because number one, if I just send somebody a long drawn out text, that's called spam. Nobody likes spam. Number two, people are more inclined to listen to a message because they want to hear what you have to say rather than read this long thing. And so I might just say, hey, Tiffany, listen, hope you and the family are doing well and you guys are enjoying the holiday season. Listen, I don't know if you're open right now, but I've got something that's come across my desk that I have to tell you has given me a permanent case of insomnia. I have every reason to believe that this is going to be the biggest story in 2019. It's focused around the DNA nutrition space. And you know what? I would love to send you just a short little video just to get your opinion on it. I'd like to know if you're open to taking a closer look. And we actually have scripts that are in our Facebook group. If you click on files, the exact script that I launched with that brought some strong leaders into the business is actually scripted out. And you can get access to that in our group, and Tiffany can tag you on that. But Facebook Messenger, and a lot of times I'll do this late at night because I'm busy doing these trainings and calls and 3-ways during the day. So sometimes I don't get a chance to prospect until the evening, but I use that to my advantage. Because what I'll do is I'll say, hey, Tiffany, you know what? I was going to reach out to you today, but it just got so late and I didn't want to call you late. So I'm just dropping you a quick voice message. Look, I wanted to make sure that you knew that there's something super exciting that's happening right now. I've just started a business, and I believe that, I have found a way for you and I to go create a tremendous amount of income in 2019 and change a lot of lives along the way. And I'd just like to know if you're open to taking a closer look. Certainly, I don't want to send you anything without your permission, but I'd love to send you a 3-minute video that just gives you a little bit of a taste of what I'm working on. Would that be okay with you? And then I just leave that message. And in the morning, they check that message, hear it. They always respond and say, yeah, they're curious, right? The key is to create curiosity. You don't want to give, the pitch during the invitation. And that's where a lot of network marketers go wrong, is they try to say too much. Then they almost give the presentation during the invitation. So for me, it's just about letting people know what I'm up to, or that I'm up to something super exciting. And I'd love to invite them to take a closer look. And I'd love to know if they're open for me just sharing a little 3-minute video to give them a little bit of a taste. Does that make sense?
It does.
So all of this, person, phone, Facebook messages, you have to have a list of people to reach out to. And so you've got to create that names list. Very, very critical. We have another post under our announcements and our Uforia Legacy team page that talks about building a list. And a lot of people circumvent or skip this step. A lot of people prejudge and think, oh, I'm not going to reach out to that person because they're too busy. Oh, that person over there would never do this. And, that person over there, I don't want them. What would they think of me? The thing that you have to do is you have to marry the process and divorce the results. You have to separate yourself from the outcome, because the people that you think will sometimes won't. And the people that you think never in their wildest dreams would never do this often are looking for opportunities. We just never know what's really going on in someone's lives. Again, our job is to notify people of what we're up to, invite them to take a closer look. If the timing is right, they'll have questions. And if they have questions, we're going to make sure they get their questions answered so that we can collect decisions. And if you just marry that process and separate yourself emotionally from everything else, you'll find that you're doing this in a professional way. No one's ever going to judge you for anything, because all you're doing is just, you're sorting and sifting, but you're doing it in a professional manner. And so that's kind of the overview of the funnel on how we build the business. We do have a launch strategy called the hot market system, and I'm not going to go too in depth into it tonight or today, but it is focused around just the texting and how to initially launch your business. Every single person that I bring into the business, I start them the exact same way. So first of all, I teach, if you're serious about the business, to start on a 10-pack. Why? Because this is a business, and in business, you want to be profitable. So how are you profitable? By maximizing the compensation plan, right? That's the number one objective as a business owner, is to be profitable. So in network marketing, the way to be profitable is to maximize the compensation plan. What a 10-pack will do, I don't have the exact number, I think it's like $1,250. But what it will do is it will immediately rank advance you to what's called D&D 4, which is going to allow you to get the max amount from our compensation plan right from the very beginning. It allows you to be able to not only get, one thing that it does is, even off the 10 kits that you initially purchase, you get paid $20 more on the kits that are in your organization, including your own. So even on your own personal pack, you're already going to make $200 off of that, which is basically like a $200 rebate that's going to come to you next month. But you're also now maximizing the compensation plan. You're getting paid at the highest level, which means you're getting an override on everybody in your organization, not just your personals. You're getting up to a $20 override on every single person that's coming into your business, which is a great place to be. The more important thing, though, is that people do what they see and not what they're told. And if you're treating this like a business, you want to set the example from the very beginning, because you're going to get asked the same question over and over again. And that question is, what did you do? When the conversation comes and they say, well, how did you get started? You want to set yourself up for success, or set your people up for success. And what I mean by that is if somebody buys 10 kits and they go out and they keep, let's just say 2 for them and their spouse, or maybe even 1 for themselves, the goal is we're going to teach you how to go move those other 8 kits. And I always challenge the people that I personally enroll to get that done within the first 7 days. I give them a little challenge. Look, if you can do this within the first 7 days, I'm going to send you a little something special, just a little fun gift certificate or something. Let's have a little fun with this. And what they'll do is usually they start off with a Facebook Live, just letting people know, what they're up to. As soon as they get their product and inventory, they do kind of an unboxing, and they just literally just talk about the product and what's in it. And, for those that want more information, just drop a little comment in the section below. That's one way to launch your business right away. And then as people start having questions, they can immediately just add them to our groups and tag them. But the goal is to go move these 8. And we actually have a texting system that works absolutely beautifully. And I'll give you an example of what it might sound like. So I might text Tiffany the first text and just say, hey, Tiff, can you text me back when you get a minute? I need a favor, and I was really hoping that you could help. Now, remember, we call this hot market system for a reason. Hot market are people that are in your inner circle that would be willing to pick you up at 2 o'clock in the morning if your car broke down. So Tiffany is in that inner circle. I can text her and say, Tiff, text me back when you get a minute. I need a favor, and I was hoping you could help. And the answer, the key word there is help. You got to ask for help, because people are always willing to help. They want to make, I put a post up just to prove a point the other day, and people thought I was crazy for a minute because I posted on our team page and I said, hey, listen, based on the relationship that we currently have right now, some of you just met me, some of you only know me through Facebook, but based on the current relationship we have right now, would you be willing to lend me $25 if I asked you for it? And people are like, okay, I hope things are going okay with Travis, but every person except for one said, yes, I'd be willing to lend you $25. Then I came back a little later and posted a video and I says, okay, here was my point. My point is that you'll never know unless you ask, first of all. And there's all these people that are around us, that are in our inner circle, that are in our hot market, that are willing to help, but we're not even willing to ask. Why? Because we're afraid. And so we allow our fear to control our emotions, and we allow our fear to hold us back. And so at the end of the day, hot market is simply doing this. Tiffany, I need a favor, and I was hoping you could help. Can you text me back when you get a minute? Now, Tiffany, if you got that from me, what would you do?
Yeah, I'd respond right away and say, what's up?
Right. So then I'd say, hey, Tiff, listen, I just launched a business. Okay. Don't worry. So my marker's not on anything. Just launched a business. Don't worry. I'm not going to ask you to join anything, but I need some help. I need some people that I really look up to, that I admire, that I respect, to just take a look at a 3-minute video that talks about a new business that I'm launching and just give me their honest feedback. If I send it over, would you watch it? Let me know what you think.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now here's my third text. And by the way, I don't send the video without getting permission first, right? It builds value in what I'm sending. And it's also showing respect for Tiffany. I want to make sure that she's okay with this. And so then all I'm going to do is I'm going to say, thank you so much, Tiffany. Listen, just to be upfront with you, I have a goal to find 8 customers this week, and it's very important to me. I'm going to give those customers $100 off to get started on my DNA nutrition product. Just let me know if you think this is something that you or your husband might get value from. Cool?
Cool.
So, by the way, this is all done. I never even picked up the phone. I just texted her, real quick text message. Boom. And by the way, if you gave me a list of your hot market, I said put 20 names together. We're going to go through an exercise. And all we're going to do is I want you to send this, hey, shoot me back a text message and get a minute. When you get a minute, I need a favor, and I was hoping you could help. And you just copy and paste that to all 20. It would take you 10 minutes. Within a matter of minutes, your phone's going to start dinging. Sure, what's up? What can I do to help? Yeah, what's going on? What do you need? Hey, listen, just launched a business. Don't worry, not going to ask you to join anything, but I just need some people that I admire, trust, and respect just to take a look at a 3-minute video. Let me know what you think. If I send it, will you watch it? Yes. So then you start getting these more text messages back, and then you send the third text message. I like to be upfront. I don't want to play games. I know other people, they would appreciate it if you're direct with them. Look, just to be upfront with you, I have a goal. I have a deadline and a goal. By this Friday, I need to find 8 customers to launch with, and it's very important to me, and I'm willing to offer those customers $100 off. Now, where does that $100 off come from? In every single DNA kit, you get a $100 coupon that goes towards your lab fees that the person that's buying the kit can use, that takes the lab fees from $199 to $99. And that's a promotion, and it's a soft launch promotion. So the urgency is definitely there. And all I'm doing is now I've got them to watch the 3-minute video. From there, I just take them through the funnel. So they watch the 3-minute video. Okay, I have some questions. I want to know how this works. Like, is this really what it says it is? Listen, I'm going to add you to a group. I'm going to tag you on some information. I just want you to see what people are saying about this. Is that cool? And then let's circle back around in 24 hours and we can chat a little bit more about it. I've only got 6 kits left, by the way. So if you want to take advantage of that promotion I'm doing, Friday's the deadline. I've got to have this done by Friday. See, the key is most people in network marketing, they kind of ease into the water. But if you get your first 7 days right and your first 30 days right, everything else will take care of itself. And that's where most network marketers go wrong. They get into the business and then they kind of dabble with it. They talk to a few people. They feel like they need to know everything. But if you get the first 7 days right, you come in with that mentality, look, I'm going to get these 8 kits moved no matter what. I'm setting a deadline. I'm challenging myself. I'm going to make it happen. You follow our hot market system, which we have training videos and scripts for you available. And you do this and you go get this 8 done. Here's what happens. Now you have 100% of your initial investment back. So 100% of that $1,250 comes back to you right up front in the first 7 days. What business do you know of that you can start and get 100% of your investment back within the first 7 days? Number 2, you now have enough customers that are on auto ship that your product is paid for. You never have to pay for your product again because now every month you're making enough money to pay for your product. And number 3, this is the most important thing, you now have a success story. You have a success story that you can tell people. So now when people say, well, I don't know, I've never really been that good at these things. You can say, you know what? I totally understand how you feel. Man, I used to feel the same way. I did not want to have to call up my friends and try to sell them anything. But let me ask you a question. Do you feel like I really approached you and sold you or pitched you on anything? No. You know, how did I really approach you? Well, you just sent me a text. Well, could you send a text out to your friends? Yeah, I could do that. And when you had questions, you just added me to a group. Could you do that with your people? Yeah, I could do that. Okay, well then you can be successful here in this business just like me. I got 100% of my initial investment back within the first week, and I can see how I'm going to create an additional revenue stream for myself and my family in 2019 that's going to allow me to do a lot of things that I wasn't able to do before. So that's how you build the business over and over again. And hot market, building that story right out of the gate in the first 7 days is so critical because then over the next 30 days, you can use that story. Because a lot of people, what they want to know is, if they're going to evaluate your opportunity, just so you know, most people say no to your business, not because they don't like your business. They say no because they think they couldn't be successful in your business doing what you do. They can't see themselves being successful in this environment. So if you can show them through your actions, look, you know how busy I am. I'm a mom and I've got this going on and I'm literally on my job. I've got tons of things going on. But all I did is I sent a text message and added you to a group and tagged you. Could you do that with your friends? People go, well, if you can do it, I can do it too. There's nothing more powerful than saying to your prospect, listen, if I can do this, you can do this too. I got started, got my 100% of my money back in the first 7 days. And if you start sharing that story over the next 30 days, you're going to go get some people that want to lock arms with you in this business. And now, and again, I said the first 30 days because if you get your first 30 days right, everything else takes care of itself because you've created momentum for your business. You've created a success story. You've got your money back. You've already got customers to work with. Some of those customers are going to eventually turn into business builders. And now you have a success story. And a success story is the most valuable thing that you can have in this business. So that's how we're building it, just over and over again. And I believe that it's easier to move these 8 kits if you have the product inventory in hand. Why? Because here's the difference. If I am having a conversation this Saturday, I've got a big party this Saturday for my birthday, okay? So all my friends and family are going out for my birthday. If I have a loose conversation, now I would never pitch somebody at a birthday party, it's not the right place, but I will have conversations with people and say, listen, so we're coming to the end of the year. How was your year, 2018? You know, how did business treat you? Are you happy with business? Do you feel like you were paid what you were worth? I might have those conversations. And if they say no, I just say, well, listen, maybe I can help. Now's not the right time, but maybe Monday, I'd love to send you a little 3-minute video on what I'm working on that it's got me so excited about 2019. Would that be okay, right? So if they're at my house and we're having that conversation, I'm going to grab a kid and I might just show, or if it's a loose conversation, now again, birthday party's a bad example, but if I had a friend over at my house and I was telling him a little bit about what I was up to and I grabbed the DNA kit and say, yeah, let me show you. Have you heard of DNA nutrition? One of my favorite questions to ask people. They're like, DNA nutrition, what's that? Is that like ancestry.com? Well, no, let me show you this. Summer and I just did this. We just got our wellness report. So I'll pull out the wellness report and I'll pull out the box and I'll show it to them. And I say, I've got a couple of extra of these kits if you want one. They're so much more likely to buy that kit right then and there because you have it in front of them. If they say, well, yeah, send me some information on it. Time is the enemy and they just lose. We're so busy that we just get focused on other things and pretty soon, without a sense of urgency, all value is lost. They kind of forget about it and then they just never place that order. And I see that happen over and over again. And so for me, for the people that I sponsor, it's always the same system. Sign up on a 10-pack. Why? Because you need to prove to yourself that you can do it. Let's move those 8 kits. You only have to do that once, by the way. You only have to do hot market system one time to create your success story. Now I've given you the tools that you need to be successful. I've set you up for success. You can teach your team members to do the same thing. You now have a success story. Call me when you need some 3-way calls. And I move on to the next person and I teach them that same system. And that right there, what I just shared with you, is what 95% of network marketers don't get. They just bring people in, plug them onto the calls, and they turn around and start trying to recruit again. They're forgetting the most valuable thing that they can give their people, which is a success story. Does that make sense, Christy?
It does.
All right, so I'm going to take a breath. I know I just verbal vomited on you with a lot of information, so I'm going to stop and ask questions now. So talk to me. Tell me what questions you have or what are your thoughts?
So did you find was it easier for either yourself or you, Tiffany, that once you took the DNA test yourself and you had that result, was it easier for you to have that in hand to be able to back the product? Because, I mean, in the world that we live in now, there's so many things that people are out there selling. And I will be the first to say that there's a lot of things that I see on Facebook that I always question. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's going to do this, that's going to do that. And I feel like for me, if I were able to back that up with that wellness packet and that DNA results and be like, hey, look at how messed up I am. I can't believe how bad my health was. And then I went through and I have this, and this is what's going to help me get on the right path. Did you find that having that was easier to not sell it but get them to understand what you're trying to do? Because I have had multiple things come my way as far as network marketing. I've had people take me out to lunch. I've had people take me out to drinks, and they're basically trying to sell me on buying a kit and then go out and get as many people as I can underneath them. And they never had anything to back that product up that made me go, They just didn't have it.
For me personally, the 10 pack came within, they flight those things to you, like you have them within 2 days. So you're already gonna have the product in hand. This company has been shipping them out really, really quickly. So you're gonna have that to back it, but that's part of the ATM system because there's other testimonies on there. So even if you don't personally have it, they're constantly seeing that dripped into the group and people who already have the wellness report. And then also that third-party validation. You're going to be plugging them into calls with myself or calls with Travis or any of the sidelines. We have our wellness reports, and then that also verifies and validates it for the person.
Right. And I think that sometimes people need that validation piece of it. So they realize that, I mean, if they can have a conversation, like we're having a conversation that, I am like, oh, Tiffany, I cannot believe what this result came back, and it's unbelievable that just in whatever it is, if a few weeks or whatever it may be, the difference that I felt in myself because I have something to follow. I have something that's truly designed for myself, and I feel like that holds more weight than some of the things that I've had come my way. Because my biggest thing when I was trying to explain to Aaron, my husband, about this is he's like, well, how is this going to set yourself apart from we have another friend who sells something, because he's very critical of what she sells and is not a believer. And he's just like, I don't want you to find yourself going down that path where people are questioning this and that. And I said, I wouldn't have taken it to this point with having a conversation with Tiffany if I didn't feel like it was something that she herself could get behind. And I said, we both are from a small community, and I will tell you it's one that we both love very much, but they will rip you apart if you try to screw somebody over. So, I mean, these are these conversations that, we're having, and he's just like, for him, he's just like, you have to be able to believe in it yourself and know that what you're doing is you're offering a different perspective to somebody else. And I think for me to be able to do that is to experience it myself. Like both Aaron and I are like, we got to get one of these. This is like going to be like a family event, like our daughter's going to do it. I mean, it's kind of like a big deal. It's kind of exciting at the same time. It may sound a little hokey, but I mean, that's kind of what we're looking forward to doing. And then with that, then I think maybe he'll understand and maybe realize what I'm trying to do. Does that make sense to both of you?
It does. So some people feel like they need that personal experience with the product before they start. I would and that's a personal thing. For me, I didn't need that personal experience because I trusted in the 23 scientists and doctors in the decades of research and, you know, the all of the DNA, just the studies and things that we had. That was enough for me to feel good enough about starting to promote the product personally. I also recognize that timing is everything in business. And,
right.
you know, we're in this whisper campaign that will never come again. And I knew that, you know, even if I started today versus where, you know, 60 days ago, I was one of the first people in this company, I don't know if I would have had the same exact results as I had today, because timing is everything. And so I always want to be the first person talking about this product, not, you know, hearing about it from someone else, right? There's a saying that I'm fond of, which is when the taxi cab drivers are telling you about it, it's probably a little too late. And
right.
so for me, I didn't necessarily need that personal experience, but one thing that was cool was that I was able to get my product within 2 days, and I was on pre-trition literally within the 3rd day. And by the 7th day, I'd already felt it less bloated, and I already started to feel different on that particular product. And so, but that's a very personal thing. You have to make the decision if you're comfortable
right.
promoting it from the very beginning. I also would tell you that I would recommend not missing that opportunity of opening that product in front of someone. Like, I know it's kind of an intimidating thing, but if you can just do a Facebook Live and open that up with your family and just say, and it doesn't even have to be promoting the business, talking about selling anything. It's just, hey, listen, you know what? One of the things that we've talked about is taking our health seriously. In 2019, we're making some changes, but we're not going to wait. We're not going to wait until the new year. So we've ordered these DNA kits, and they're so cool. Let me just show you what's in these and how they work. And if that's all you said, people are going to want to know more about it, and they're going to ask you questions, and you can at least start adding them to the, you know, the ATM system and adding them to those social groups. And that was another thing I wanted to mention. And I know, Tiffany, you touched on it, is once they're added to the group, they have all the social proof they need, because there's literally thousands of people in there sharing testimonials about how this product is making a difference in their life. And then you just connect them to Tiffany, who has been on the product, who does have a wellness report, who can answer their questions. And literally all of a sudden 4 weeks goes by, and before you know it, you have your customized nutrition, you have your wellness report, and you can just keep going with it. So borrowed credibility works very, very well when you're first getting started. And then eventually you'll start to build up your own personal testimonials as well. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I'm telling you guys, I am losing the holiday battle right now. Like, I am just, seriously, I have just fallen completely off of the food wagon during the holidays. Like, I've been.
Everybody deserves to have a little treat every once in a while.
This is Summer, by the way. My wife, Summer, she just walked in the door.
Hi, Summer.
It's my birthday week, so I've been getting treats.
It's birthday week, so I think on birthday week around here, you have to get your favorite things all week. Every day, at least, you should have one favorite, whether it's healthy or not. Because I mean, come on, it's your birthday week, right? And it's Christmas.
I've just been falling off.
And also, how often does Starbucks have the caramel brulee available? Not often.
She's got a point there. Plus, it's a double whammy with your birthday and Christmas. I say live it up.
Yes. So, I mean, this is his first one this week, so I feel like that's actually not a bad thing.
The neighbors have been dropping off neighbor gifts all week, and every day it's like another cookie, I'm just like, oh. Anyways, so what other questions, Christy, do you have? I know that you're limited on your time, so I want to make sure that you get everything that you need before we wrap up this call.
Well, to me, it makes sense. I mean, I'm a very, very visual person, so I appreciate the whiteboard. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy the whiteboard. I love it. I use it myself every day. I have probably about 10 notebooks going on right now, and every one of them has some kind of a layout, some kind of a plan for every week, the month, the future. So I love that. To me, so it's very visual. So for me, it was very easy to follow you and very easy to think what the next step is for me. So for me to get the kits, you know, it's just a matter of making that next step to get the kits. To me, it makes sense to have 10. It makes sense for, you know, 3 of those kits that's going to be utilized in my family. I think the idea of going Facebook Live is genius, and I think social media is like key to all of this. What a marketing tool to have, and the people that you can reach on it. I was just thinking to myself, I was like, who else in my family that I could get to join on this Facebook Live, because it would be great Facebook entertainment. I have to tell you, as I said, I'm the youngest of 4 and I have 3 older brothers, and my one brother literally looks like Mario from Mario and Luigi. He would be pure entertainment, but I mean, to me, it's making it personal. It's bringing people in, and I think people enjoy that. You know, when you have something like that where they can relate to, because who doesn't have a goofy family member? But I mean, if we're all coming together as a family to try something that's pretty life-saving, you know, life-changing, to me, it starts to get that momentum going. You have to get people curious. You have to get them excited. You have to entertain them a little bit, and then they want to know more. You know, they want a little taste of that. So, like me, I'm sitting here already on my piece of paper thinking, oh, rubbing my hands together going,
Well,
where is this going to go? Where is this going to lead me?
Well, it sounds like a formal welcome to the team is probably appropriate then, because it sounds like if you're already putting your names list together, what that live is going to look like, then you're in, you just don't know it yet. Or maybe you do and you're ready to go. But no, the whiteboard thing for me, first of all, I speak English in whiteboard. I'm very visual. I have to see it. That's why I talk this way. So I appreciate you saying that, because to me, at the end of the day, somebody just needs to know when they're looking at your opportunity, they need to be able to say, yeah, I could do that. And my hope today with you and anyone that may be watching this on replay is that you looked at this and said, I could totally do that. I could add people to a group. I could tag them. I could message them. That makes sense to me. Yes, I could utilize those different in-person strategies and text messaging strategies. And yes, I can invite people. And that's really what prospects want at the end of the day. And then it's a matter of when they're looking to get started, what makes the most sense. And if you show them the system and teach them the system with the understanding that your goal is to help give them a success story right from the very beginning, the value is built in their mind. And that's essentially what you'll be doing eventually. And the whiteboard will always help with that. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate you squeezing me in today. I know everybody had a crazy, crazy busy schedule, and with it, the holiday just being around the corner, I appreciate it. All great stuff.
We're looking forward to working with you. Christy can help you get started, or Tiffany can help you get started. And you have a Merry Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you get formally welcomed in the group. And just know that when you do start getting things rocking and rolling, number one, you have an amazing, amazing, amazing mentor above you that is sponsoring you. So you couldn't be in better hands. But Summer and I are an extension to Tiffany. So anytime you need us to get on a call with a prospect, if they have been exposed to the opportunity and now they're at that point where they're ready for a 3-way call, we're also here willing to help as well. So just know that you won't fail here for lack of support.
Sounds good.
Bye, guys. Merry Christmas.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks
Bye.
again.
Christmas.